My name is Khan, and I am doing my presentation on the measles. I chose this topic because despite being a very easily curable disease, measles is still prevalent in society today. Throughout the presentation, I will answer questions regarding this disease and tell you about the steps for its prevention and my opinions on the matter. Let's get started. To begin, what are the measles? Also known as rubiola, it is defined as a viral infection of the respiratory system which results in flu-like symptoms and a widespread rash throughout the body. Since it is caused by a virus, there is currently no treatment for the measles. You will just have to let the disease run its course. Fortunately, once a person has been infected once, they are now immune, and it is highly unlikely that they will be infected again. Why does the measles exist in society? One of the reasons is due to the fact that the measles are highly contagious because it is airborne and can travel from host to host. As the human population continues to grow, the measles virus will have more and more hosts to infect. It is worthy to note that humans have been found to be the only natural host of this virus. Another reason is the fear of vaccination. Many parents fear the side effects of getting vaccinated, both for their children and for themselves. Thus, many studies have shown that no such things exist. The last reason is that for the complete elimination of the measles virus, a population needs to reach something called a herd immunity, where 95% of the population must be vaccinated for the disease. How did this happen? How the disease is spread is in a very similar fashion to the common cold. It is spread through contact with infected mucus and saliva. If an infected person coughs or sneezes, they are letting the virus out into the air, and the surrounding people are susceptible to being infected themselves. To scale it, if a person has been infected with the measles, it is likely that 9 out of 10 people around them will also be infected. Where did this happen? The measles is most commonly found in areas in Central America, one example being Cuba. Back in 1529, a measles outbreak devastated 2/3 of the Cuban population. Furthermore, it has continued to ravage parts of Honduras and Mexico. In addition, Hawaii was a victim of the measles back in the 1850s, in which the disease killed 20% of the island population. The measles was also prevalent in the United States, with the first case found in a 13-year-old boy in 1954. However, ever since vaccines have become available in 1968, the measles was eliminated in the U.S. in 2000. What are the risks for the community in the future? The prevalence of the measles have been greatly decreased due to widespread immunization. However, it is still possible for unvaccinated people, especially children, to become infected. Some risk factors of the disease include vitamin A deficiency and a weak immune system. What are or were the etiological factors? The causes of the measles was first identified by Francis Holm, a Scottish physician back in 1757, as being by an infected agent in the blood of patients. Due to its virality, it is highly contagious and can be brought into a population by international travel. In this situation, unvaccinated people and people who have yet to be immune are most susceptible to be infected. How to solve the public health problem? The first course of action is to put more emphasis on vaccination. Since it is currently the only cure for the measles, future parents should be educated on the benefits of getting their children vaccinated in order to limit the number of hosts in which the virus can infect. Another way is to implement a public health policy which puts a requirement on getting a health checkup before international travel in order to decrease the risk of the disease spreading. The United States currently do not suffer from the measles as it had been eliminated in 2000. However, parts of the Americas have only now been able to eliminate the disease. As of now, all of the Americas have been freed from the devastation of the measles. These countries achieved this feat through widespread vaccination efforts, mainly by the U.S., to help rid of the measles. Many public health programs sent volunteers on trips to other countries in order to help distribute vaccinations and give the people there the medical attention they need. It is through community effort and public program organizations that the measles has finally been eradicated from the Americas. What should be done to prevent the recurrence of the measles in the future? Immunization is the first step, either by naturally overcoming the disease or through vaccinations. The MMR vaccine is a 3-in-1 dose which protects one from the measles, mumps, and rubella. It is highly recommended that children receive the first dose at 12 months and a second dose between 4 and 6 years old. As of right now, vaccines are the only cure for the measles. However, if a person does become infected, it is wise to limit interaction with others in order to not spread the disease. In addition, that person should drink plenty of fluids and get a lot of rest. Once their body has naturally overcome the virus, they are now immune. In my opinion, I believe that immunization is the key to completely eliminating the measles from society. It is an endemic disease, which means that it is regularly found in a population. Thus, it is nearly impossible to wipe out the disease unless every person in the world is immune. Thus, I believe that we should strive for the herd immunity effect, which means at least 95% of the entire human population must be immune. This can be achieved by more widespread vaccinations, especially to impoverished countries with a lack of access to medical aid. In this way, it is less likely for another outbreak to occur. Another way of prevention is to limit international travel, at least when it is physically visible that a person is unwell, so that we don't run the risk of spreading the infection. Lastly, the most important preventative measure is education. While the measles may seem easily defeated, it is deathly. Therefore, more education on the steps to prevent the measles and other diseases is always important.